This is Valerie Van Boeven with the Senior Care Industry Netcast, where leaders with 3 or more years of experience in the senior care market share their advice. So let's get to it. In a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Well, we come with a lot of different things that we are, but basically I am human. I'm going to start there. I come with a lot of experience, mainly in the sales and marketing side, but what I have found a passion for is finding connections with seniors. And my brand is actually human to human. So what I do is I help senior industries and healthcare navigate social media, digital media, just navigate that space. Sometimes it's a little scary. What I love about it is being able to make those connections online, because now that we've been in COVID and we're all being pushed online, it's a lot of fun creating those relationships, both this way with Zoom and also online.
Okay, so you don't necessarily serve aging adults, but you serve the people who serve aging adults, right?
Yes, but the consulting brand of mine is fairly newly created, and I have served aging adults for probably the past 15 years, whether it was
Nice.
caregiving, marketing director, you name it. I did home care. I was a branch manager for home care, so I would match the caregivers to the clients. So I've done a lot of work with the seniors.
And how long has human to human marketing been around?
It's been around for about 2 years. It's been formulating a lot longer than that. But what's really exciting is developing the relationships and having the clients that really want to embrace the senior living online, because a lot of industries the senior industry online is a little bit lacking as far as keeping up with technology. And I love being able to work with teams and different executives to be able to help them navigate that.
Nice, very nice. So talk to us about successful leaders and organizations that have been in your life that you thought have done a really good job, and maybe have even helped steer the course of your profession or your life. So who would you like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'm thinking about this question. There's so many that come to mind. I would say I have been quite lucky and blessed with lots of really good supervisors and managers throughout my career. So the choices that I've made and the positions that I've taken have lent me with really good role models and leaders. Aside from that, a lot of the choice of what I do is because of I call them olders rather than seniors. So my mom and my mother-in-law, my grandmother, I was really close to. And so they're very important to me. And I have to give a shout out to my husband, Hugh. He's always supportive in whatever I've done. And he's one of my biggest cheerleaders. So.
Oh, that's great. Awesome. Well, that's good to hear. And thank you for sharing all those people that have been so meaningful to you in your life. Because I think a lot of the folks that we talk to who are entrepreneurs, especially in this market, they typically do have a very close relationship with their parents, or especially their grandparents, or if they're past, they did have a great relationship with them. And I think that's a lot of the catalyst for many of us that work in the senior industry. So
yes,
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Very cool.
All right. Well, let's talk about this. So I am going to ask this question a little differently. You know all about online marketing. So the question is always, what has been your experience with online marketing? And usually we ask that to people who don't do this for a living. So what has been your experience with online marketing?
Yeah, I wondered if that question was based around, who I am and what I did. That's
Nope.
Okay. I think, I'm sorry, can you repeat that one more time? My head was going elsewhere.
Sure. Okay, so I hear from other senior service providers that marketing online is challenging because it's confusing and ever changing, and it is. What has been your experience with online marketing?
Okay, so I would agree that most people would agree that it's confusing
Mhm.
and a little bit scary, is
Yeah.
what I like to say. And I think a lot of it, to be honest, even everyone thinks they need to keep up on all the technology, and I think you really need to take it by chunks. One step at a time, digest it and take that on before moving on. I actually do that with a lot of my clients. I work with them on a particular piece. Maybe it's Facebook marketing.
Mhm.
Then we might move into Google Business, but it's by chunks, because when you look at the whole scheme of online marketing, it's huge. I do that myself. I come home and I go, oh my goodness, there's so many options. What do I choose?
Right.
And I think everybody tends to do that. And I think you just have to step back and say, one step at a time, bite-sized chunks, because that consistency and that regularity creates change, just like almost anything in life.
Yep. I think you got to pick your platform for sure and get used to that and understand it. And then you can move on to the next thing. You're right.
Yeah.
So what piece of advice would you give to senior care providers out
Uh, I would say I'm going to bring it back to human, because I think people need to show their brand. I mean, they need to show their humanity. Um, and everything needs to start with a plan. I think a lot of people think that you need to do everything all at once and you kind of throw darts at the board. But if you start with a plan and you bring that humanity into it, which means asking questions online, answering people online, even having conversations offline, which I think is great because it leads to that connection. But just really embracing humanity and remembering that computers are just a tool,
there? Yeah.
to the bigger picture.
Yes. I always say come out from behind your computer, come out from behind your Facebook page, and
Yes.
in videos like this or in an article that you write or in a way that you answer, don't hide behind your website. Come out from behind that, because this is also a trust building industry, and we're in
Yes.
a really weird place right now where it's hard to build trust if you can't be in the room with somebody.
Mhm.
Networking situation. So the way to build trust, put yourself out there
Yeah.
and talk to people, human to human, right?
Yep.
And let them get
Conversational.
to know you a little bit.
Yes. Yes. And it takes time.
Yes, absolutely.
Um, Another tactic that I love to do is I reach out to 3 to 5 people on the phone each week, and I just start a conversation. And there's no agenda necessarily. Maybe it's business, maybe it's personal, but it's just connecting and finding that commonality to be able to move forward and developing that trust. Because that's what really it's all about. We buy from people we like and who we trust. So
Yeah, absolutely. All right. When you have a win in life or business, how do you like to celebrate?
I'm going to say a lot of people these days say that they're an introverted extrovert or extroverted introvert.
Mhm.
I love to be on all the time, and I have very, very full days, but I really, truly we live on a sailboat. So sailing is a relaxer for me, as well as celebration. I love sailing. I also love yoga, and a good cocktail. A good cocktail would go a long way. I love that too. But first, but
So back up. Did you say you live on a sailboat?
yes,
Wow.
yeah,
You really don't meet I mean, I know there's a lot of people that is their life, but
yeah.
I don't talk to people many times a day or a month or a year or in my life that live on a sailboat.
Well,
Cool.
there's a whole story. I've been 25 years with my husband. It's been a dream for a long time. He's actually sailed the whole South Pacific.
Wow.
And so we just bought a boat about a year and a half ago. It's Sailing Happy, is the name is Happy.
Yeah.
So it's really, it's a different lifestyle. And what I love about it is you can, you can live the lifestyle while still engaging in normal life. People think that if you live on a sailboat, you're kind of removed, but that's not true.
No, no,
Yeah.
I mean, I would
You
guess
get,
so right now there's nothing moving there. So I'm guessing you're
yes.
docked somewhere.
No, this actually is not my sailboat. This is an
Oh,
office that I rent. When you said you live on a sailboat, I said, no, I'm not at my sailboat right now. But our sailboat is very comfortable. It's 45 feet. It's a special design that we searched for. We bought it used in Sweden, but it's comfortable, and often I will do my Zoom calls and people will say, yeah, you're moving, but they'll look at the
that's great. I love it. That is so unique. That
yeah.
is great. Well, thank you for being on the show, for sharing your wisdom and sharing your thoughts about online marketing and what you do. We appreciate it. That is what this is all about. Short, sweet, and share with others what you do and how you do it, and give
Thank
us some
you.
words of advice. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.